Good morning, traders and investors around the world, and welcome to Friday's unemployment edition of premarketinfo.com, where we prepare you for the most important hour of the day, the first hour. Well, Dennis, we have a nice tight 6 point range here ahead of the unemployment number.
Very quiet ahead of the number here, Joel. Not a lot of earnings today either, so we don't have a heck of a lot of drivers besides that unemployment number. So at 8:30, maybe we'll get a little bit more volatility.
Sure, we will. The current high stands at 1326 and a quarter. That's one tick above yesterday's high. Have a whole host of resistance up here, Dennis. Wednesday's high, of course, at 1327, and then the high of the move that we had last week at 1329.75. So above that level, and we're looking for a breakout, a continued breakout to the upside. On the other hand, if that 1320 to 6 quarter holds as the high of the day of 1311 and a quarter, the current low 20, a little bit below settlement. If that stands as the low of the day, we have 1335. Trading mid-range here, so just need to hold above this 1323 level to continue the move north. Moving on to the Big Ten, Dennis, not a lot of action in ExxonMobil yesterday. They did manage to take out that double bottom we were looking at, but only got 20 cents lower to 83.19. So still critical an eye on, currently unched in the pre-market. Resistance really doesn't come in until the mid-84s.
Yeah, Joel, it's a quiet day yesterday for ExxonMobil. It's had a couple quiet days after its earnings report there last week. Looking here, 85 is still a key number. If we do get some volatility off the jobs number, I think you'll see some pretty decent sellers up there in the 85 area. We break down below yesterday's low, then it opens up a bit. So 83.19 will be the number I'd be watching on the downside.
Speaking of quiet days, a couple in a row for which is a very unusual thing. So we are due to get a big move here in Apple. Couldn't reach that all-time high, 458.99, good resistance. First stopping point on the upside, 457.19, which was Thursday's high. Coming on the downside, Dennis, Thursday's low at 453.98 is mild support. Also, you have Tuesday's low at the 453 area. Below that, things really open up, but 2 days of consolidation in Apple. Which way will be the next move?
That's the question, Joel. Almost just over a 3 point range. That is insane to have that tight of a range for a stock like Apple. Just got to play it by the numbers. We start breaking down over yesterday's low, or below yesterday's low of 453.98. Then you start looking at the downside, and we break out and get above that high from yesterday. You're going to run into resistance, though, even if you get above the high from 457.17. Then you got the 52-week high of 458.99. And then you got the big psychological 460. So I would say I wouldn't be that confident in this breakout until I got above that 460 area.
Moving on to IBM, did take out a couple lows earlier in the week. Made a low of 191.33 with 191.53 close. Still holding above 191 is critical here for IBM to maintain this move. Took one shot at the all-time high earlier in the week. Yesterday it only got up to 193.33, so that should be our first stopping point. But overall, a pretty quiet range in IBM as well.
Yeah, stocks have been quiet here. This morning, obviously, after the jobs report, we'll have to see if we get a little bit more volatility. But 194.90, that's your number on the upside. That's the 52-week high. When it breaks out above 195, then all bets are off. But I think you got to play from the short side until it can break out over that 195 area.
Okay, kind of interesting formation here in Chevron Corporation, Dennis. 4 higher lows over every day this week. So after making that low at 102.08 on Monday, the buyers have stepped in at corresponding higher levels each day. Pretty quiet on the upside. Really not much resistance up until the 104.78 area. That was Tuesday's high. Then, of course, we have some gaps to fill above that from the earnings announcement.
Yeah, Joel. It's a good little, that higher highs and higher lows here. Can't talk this morning, Joel. But definitely getting some support down here, and when we're breaking out, or if we could break out over that 104.50 area, then you do have that little gap up to the 106. But I'd keep an eye on this 102 number, which was the low from a few days ago. If we broke down below 102, then we could break down below 100.
Okay, Mr. Softy, trying to spend more and more time above that $30 level. Got up to 30.17 yesterday before pulling back, settling at 29.95. That was 6 cents above Wednesday's close. So now you're actually getting up near 30 and hold. You get three closes above there, and perhaps that would confirm the move up to a 31.06, which was the May 10 high. Coming back on the downside, I really like this 29.71 number. That was Thursday's low. Wednesday's low was right in that area as well.
You're right, Joel. It's starting to trade above that 30 and starting to hold, making me think that it may start to make another move and break out again here. These tech stocks have just been on a heck of a run. You look at the stocks like IBM. All of your tech stocks have really been on a heck of a run. I mean, what is this, 2-year highs for Microsoft or 3-year highs? That's been a while since it's been up over 30, Joel.
Right. Well, I have 31.06 as a May 10 high, so that's where. And then moving on to GE, Dennis. Just same old story of GE. We get these kind of setups in this stock where it just won't bust out of a range. That range, the bottom of it now seems to be 1870. The top of it seems to be 1906. Where it can go in between those two levels is anyone's guess. 1993, in fact, was yesterday's high. So that $19 level, Dennis, we just can't get above there and hold, and can't break down below 1870.
Talk about consolidation, Joel. 19 definitely your first level of resistance. That's what you put a top on it there a couple days ago. 1893 didn't quite get there yesterday. I think you got to still be playing from the short side until it gets above 19. And then if you get above 19, you get the 1927 all-time high. So, or the 52-week high. Sorry. But so that's going to give you a resistance there as well too. So it looks like traders are trading this from the short side still. If we start to break below 1850, then it could start to actually break down.
Okay, moving on to our next component. Kind of a quiet day for Procter Gamble. You got a nice formation here at the 63.19 to a quarter level. Wednesday and Thursday's lows. The close just a little bit above that at 63.32. And then you have consolidation up here at the highs, 63.70 to 80. You've had a couple tops in there, so let's look out for a breakout one way or another here in this Procter Gamble.
All these stocks are consolidating, Joel. This one too. It's just a quiet inside day again for Procter and Gamble there yesterday. After it had been breaking down, from the few weeks before, it's starting to find a little bit of support here. If it got above that 64, I think you still got to look at the 64 as going to be your resistance point. Play the whole number theory a little bit in this case. If we start, I don't see much at 63, and if you broke down below that low there, which is, just want to grab that number for you from a few days ago, 62.70, you start to break down below there, then it opens up down to at least the 62 area. So I'd use that 62.70 as, support here, and 64 still as resistance.
Okay, AT&T, Dennis, has been getting some pops off the open the last couple days, running into major resistance here at 29.91 to 93. Wednesdays and Thursdays highs, made way up to the 29 or to the $30 level. Coming back on the downside, mild support at 29.70, which was Thursday's low. Better support at 29.58, which was Wednesday's low. Also, remember on Monday in this stock, we traded as low as 29.02. So just kind of digesting the break here.
Yeah, Joel. A couple crazy opens here. It opened strong again there yesterday. There's been some large buy imbalances right on the opening print, which has pressed the stock higher right off the bat. I don't know if that's going to happen here again today or not, but I'd use that $30 as resistance. It was a big psychological number. I'm starting to see a little bit of size for him there. So I'd say you find a little bit of high frequency resistance in the high 29, say 29.95 all the way to 30. Above 30, then it might open up a bit. And if we're coming back on the downside, I'd still think 29.50 should find you some support.
Okay, J&J, 66 yesterday, stopping at 65.97. That's make that 66 area resistance again. Of course, above that 66.32, which was the high on Wednesday. Trading up a little bit in the pre-market, so mild support at the close, 65.59, and Thursday's low at 65.35.
I'm having deja vu on this one, Joel. Right at the end of December, we broke out through that key 66 number. I think we traded up to that 66.32 number that you're talking about back in the end of December. And then we couldn't get back through 66, and we couldn't get back through 66. And eventually we started to break down a little bit from there. Here we have the same type of thing. We were struggling to get through 66. We break out. I think we made the exact high, 66.32. And then yesterday the high 65.97. We couldn't get back over that 66. So you wonder if this 66 number is going to put a lid on it again, like it did a couple months ago. Stocks sometimes just do the same thing they used to do. Deja vu does happen in these things. So keep that in mind. 66 is going to give you some resistance here.
Okay, and then moving on to our 10th and final component, Pfizer Corporation. Had that triple bottom area at 21.20 yesterday. Opened just above that and then crashed through there. Got down under 21. I thought 21 was be a little bit better support than that. Got as low as 20.80 and then recovered on the day to 21.11. So that major resistance is going to be for that yesterday's high at 21.31. Then coming down, I expect some buyers to step in a little bit ahead of that 2080 level. Mild support at 2103, but major support at 2080.
The breakdown continues in Pfizer there, Joel. We've been talking about it, and it actually had a pretty decent breakdown there yesterday, but then rallied. So I think rallies still need to be sold. I'd use 21.5 as huge resistance. I don't know if it's got enough gas to get up there. It's actually trading down 3 cents here in the pre-market. For whatever reason, the jobs numbers was good. This thing started flying. 21.5 should give you pretty decent resistance now. We break down below yesterday's low there. The breakdown will continue.
Okay, S&P's currently treading water here, very close to the high, waiting for the jobs report to be out in minutes. We're going to take a quick break and get our market movers together for you.